What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of City Skylines. My name is Splattercat, and I'm happy to have you here today as we hang out for a little bit and continue to expand Bimington. Now, Bimington is pretty much taken care of on this left-hand side. I think it's been rocked out. It's already been taken care of. We've got a little bit more development space over here that I could technically, like, throw a whole bunch more people down the rabbit hole with, just sort of like an office work zone, I guess. A zone o' misery. The slave pits, as my parents used to call them. However, once that's all nice and slaughtered in, we should see this big orange scary bar go away in just a second, which is my main concern. That big orange bar has just been hounding me the entire time. Apparently, people really like to work. Like, they like to have a place to go during the day to earn money so that they can buy food and other necessities. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? And so we're going to try and give that to them the best that we can. And then I'll probably just go like high density commercial zone right there, and we'll just figure it out as time goes along. Over here, I actually like the way that that worked out. How you have like this one little ridge running through the middle of the city on this side. So what we're going to do here, today we're going to expand out into this direction. I think we're going to try and make use of this zone over here and maybe make it such that the cornhole can have itself a little bit better zoning, I suppose. It's not looking good right now for the cornhole. It's been a rough week or two, and so I'm trying to fix that. If we take a road out this way, I think it would be a wise decision, and then from there we can expand this out like so. And I don't know how I want this to loop around or how I want this to work, so this is going to be sort of a work in progress, I guess. Yeah, that'll do it right there. We'll maybe take this out and around. Let me put this on curvy mode right here so that this looks a tad more natural. I mean, I think obviously no matter what I do with it, it's going to look a little bit weird. And so, yeah, it looks like our Pac-Man ghost grew like a very aggressive tumor on the front of his head right there. But I suppose it'll stick out for right now. And so let's go make some new roads, shall we? Let's make some new roads. So I think we should probably go maybe... Let's go with a 4-lane down and in here. And with the 4... I think it might work out just to do something like that. I mean, it's going to look a little bit wonky and gross, but we can figure that all out later. On this side, we can also do something similar like so. And indeed, something similar right here, had we the desire to do so. However, I don't think that's actually going to work. So instead, we'll do like a little road right here. This may actually jam up our traffic a little bit with these little intersections taking place, but I'm willing to risk it. I'm willing to risk it. Long term, like, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, there are several bad things that could happen. Oh, they need water up in that corner of the city. Did I forget to do that? I forgot to do that. I know I identified it in between episodes. I like to sit and like just sort of look at things in between episodes and figure out what's gone wrong and what's gone right, and this appears to be going very wrong. So there it is. We've taken care of that. Let's rotate a little bit. Our city is really impressive. Like, it honestly seems to go on forever if you pan down to this level and just sort of stare at it for a second. I know we've had traffic issues over here the entire game. Stop giving me tooltips. I wish these had like an auto fix option where if you had like burned down buildings, you could just have them automatically get fixed instead of having to go through by hand and do it. But I guess that's sort of like your punishment for not having enough like fire solutions around, I guess. Got a little burn down place there. God, you guys are doing a great job at just allowing... Ooh, what's going on over here, actually? Oh. Well, that little freeway is clearly not working like it's supposed to. When did I put that in? I don't even remember putting that in. That's such an odd thing to do. Why did I do that? Alright, well, expand it on out, and hopefully people can get into the city a little bit quicker. The intersection is going to create a major problem for it, but I think that should allow a better influx of people into the city. I hope, anyways. We could also technically... Okay, so that's getting off right there. I think we're going to have a long-term traffic issue right there. And it sort of negates the use of this one right here, since most people are going to take that front road right there. Sort of thinking about, in terms of efficiency, the better way that I can make this happen, because we can't have people backing up onto the freeway right there. Where are all these cars going? Like, where are they trying to get to? They're just going all the way into the city? Ew. Okay, so... Whereas I don't really hate this freeway, let's just bulldoze it for a second. And we'll see what these cars do once they're in play. Like, is it really going to hurt me that badly to have them all go this way? just spread things out a little bit. Honestly, I might be overcomplicating things. It looks like they do have a little bit of a turnstile right there that may cause some problems. I don't know if this is a good place. Given the way that this is sort of like custom built and weird and wonky, it might not be the best plan ever to put a roundabout in here, just like an experimental roundabout. I figure I should probably make another off-ramp. Let's do it. Let's make another off-ramp that sort of just like jumps the line over here. And gets off like right there. It's a little dangerous looking and it's got an odd elbow in the middle of it, but I figure it might work out a little bit. Because yeah, that's even worse right there. Okay, well we got a lot of people coming into this area, so I figure we're going to have problems eventually. Traffic tends to be the biggest concern in this game, like 100%. It tends to be the only thing you really have to worry about. That freeway's worthless, and so we're going to get rid of it. Like, oh no, you sound just like my dad. And I'm like, oh, that's sad and abusive and makes me upset. Let's go over here, and we'll do like a little, we'll put you back over here, obviously, so these people can piss right off and get off right there. And in fact, we may not even need this one over here if everybody's just deciding to use that one. I think it's this extra intersection right here that's causing the problem, maybe. So it might be a wiser idea just to have this not connect. And instead, maybe have this run off this way to where we were previously. And I don't want this to be rounded. Well, I guess it'll have to be for right now. That seems to be taunting danger right there. Maybe I should have it connect to the elbow and make this like really, really... Why do I even have this right here? Go away. I assume that was part of like previous infrastructure that like needed to exist because I don't build these very often unless I need them. However, well, we got a couple cars draining off right there, but we're more or less just moving this problem around because the cars are too stupid to get off at another location. Like, and I sincerely doubt that all these have to get off right here. Well, we can follow the traffic around and see where it goes. It might be heavy traffic for these trucks over here. And in that case, what I would do is I would take a little road out this way. No, not a highway. I would take a little road out this way. And just sort of like make that happen. And then what we could do is we could zone all this over here. And we could just make it no heavy traffic. So that we keep the problems that already exist in the areas that already have those problems. You know what I mean? So bring this all up in here. Come on. Big old painting project. And once we get you taken care of... Okay. There we go. And so the Dean District. No, that reminds me of college. It makes me sad. We'll call this Hodges up in here. And so Hodges is looking good. For Hodges, the policies that we need a heavy traffic ban in Hodges. So you're no longer, you're no longer allowed to bring trucks up in here because I'm thinking at least 50% of this traffic is heavy trucks. And so if we could find other ways for the trucks to get around, they should redivert through here. And no, you guys are still, that's heavy traffic right there. What are you doing? No heavy traffic. I said no heavy traffic. Pretty sure I said that. And so with taxation, we got services. I would say that in this area, we should probably go... We have free public transport. That's already been subsidized, so we don't have to worry about that. I'm still seeing a lot of trucks up in here for having said, oh, those are garbage trucks. Either way, these farming trucks need to piss off. I don't know if it takes a second for that to clear out, but they need to clear out. Maybe I got to expand it out to include the freeway too. I don't want that much of a ban though. I just need this to be like right here. No. Not a new... No! Franklin Heights is one little tiny zone. There we go. You definitely don't want to name that Franklin Heights. That's a terrible idea. Franklin Heights is like a hoodie-ass area. Alright, so we'll go right there. It's got like a little urethra-like catheter look going on. I think we're probably going to still have traffic problems up in here. I told him heavy traffic ban. I don't know if it takes a while for that to clear out. Or how that's going to function with regards to my happiness, but all I can hope for at this point is that it goes away. So with Hodges, we have the heavy traffic ban, yes. Okay, so that should help out a little bit. And it should redivert a lot of the traffic through here and around. We could also go for a secondary road right here that just goes like bam and wipes out another little piece of the cornhole. We'll get that right there. Let me get rid of some of these burnt down buildings because obviously the fire department that we built right here is not doing his job very well. Hopefully this allows them the opportunity to redivert elsewhere. It may create traffic problems up in this region, but this place has traffic problems to begin with, so who cares? Basically, I'm just moving the problem around a little bit. These guys have no way to get their goods anywhere else, and so I think I'll probably take like a 4-lane up in here. Yes, I know this is bad zoning. You don't have to tell me. And we'll put this, I don't know, like that. That seems okay. That'll work. And so hopefully they'll redivert through this side, and the traffic problem will continue to be awful in this area, as expected, but this area will stay relatively clean. Yeah, that's much more acceptable right there. Got a building burning down on this side. Do we have any fire departments near here? We have a fire department right there, so hopefully they'll make their way out and actually like make some spare attempt at actually accomplishing this. I'd prefer a strike attempt. No, don't strike. I can't have my police officers and firemen striking right now. Now would not be the time for that. On this side, it looks like we have a fairly serious residential need. So, let's go some high density up in here. There it is. On that side, we'll get a little bit of low density going on because obviously we got this entire area to zone out. There we go. That'll help out a tiny bit. We need a few more jobs, and I think we can definitely take care of that in the future. As of right now, though, no, I don't think I want to develop that just yet. We'll keep an eye on that, and we'll figure out what we want to do with it later. But we'll just sort of, like, massively expand our residential districts for right now, and hopefully they expand in a way that's logical, so I don't have to move the power grid around at all. I prefer to avoid doing that right now. So what's holding you guys back right now? Education, is that's what might be what's holding it back, or maybe just people moving in. It looks like our population is actually declining for once. I think it might be due to the fact that I hadn't been zoning any residential anytime recently, though, so we'll leave that in. We're making a tad of a bit of money. Not very much, though. What's going on right here? We've got... So we can build no monuments right now. The fusion power plant, we need an observatory. Well, what do we need for an observatory? Where is that at? Obviously, the Plaza of the Dead isn't doing it for me. The Mall of Moderation. Take a walk through the glorious Mall of Moderation and learn how not to give in to your whims. Let's see here. We've got a Grand Mall. Where's the observatory? Is that one right there? And what does the observatory need? 1,000 abandoned buildings? Why would abandoned buildings unlock observatories? What do people in this area have like this weird fetish obsession with just like looking at abandoned buildings through telescopes? I don't understand. I'm so confused. I feel like these numbers are not tracking properly. That or nobody just gives a damn about our tourism. That could be the other problem. How are our transit lines looking right now? We actually have no line running from over there, which is odd. However, I don't know. I just don't know what to do with that line right there. There's nothing that I really consider to be like pertinent right now with it, and so everything else looks good, though. I'm pretty happy with the way this is all developed out. We still need a few more jobs, so I think I'll probably throw those in just a little bit. Let me take some offices and sprinkle them lightly about this area. Some hoity-toity jobs to overlook, to oversee, to look down the hill at the more working-class jobs, the ones that require sweat on your brow, a stain on your collar, all that sort of thing. That used to happen to my white shirts all the time. I have to swap out my white shirts constantly because, like, not around the pits, but around, like, the neck, it would just, like, decolor over time. Like, and I wasn't even sweaty. I worked in air conditioning, but I had to wear a white shirt for work all the time. That was, like, part of the outfit that you had to have. And as part of that, I had to swap out my white shirts like every 2 to 3 months because they would just get like a nasty neck thing going on around the sides, and no amount of bleach would get rid of it. You'd be like, well, damn, I guess I'll just buy some new shirts then. This sucks. It makes me unhappy. This area is going to have super shitty traffic. I can tell you that right now. I think it's too far extended from like, we may be better off just like zoning a new area, because this over here appears to be right at the threshold of how much its actual transit system can support without actually having a few more connections to the highway. It might be a decent idea to bring this down over to here. And let's run some highway. So that's right there. We can run this all the way down to here. This over here, similarly. We can run that perpendicular. There it is. I'm sorry, not perpendicular, parallel. That looks nice. Over here on this side, that's going to allow them to transfer to that side. So who's coming in this way? So they transfer to there, and then they can come through this way. Okay. These guys over here are coming back this way. We could also... Well... That looks to be a decent way to get this all to connect. However, what I prefer to do for right now is maybe even actually consider something like that. And that'll help connect that right there, and that'll look pretty good. This highway doesn't have to worry about it because it's already connected. And that should leave us with a little bit of building room over on this side. And so let's get our first freeway off-ramp going right here. And so this traffic should be going this way, I think. Unless I zoned that wrong. I wish there was little arrows. Yeah, so that's all going this way. So we can do right there. So I'm going to break off a little piece right here. And there's our first freeway off-ramp. Obviously, we need a matching off-ramp on this side. And so a matching area we shall have. And that's going to give us 2 off-ramps onto the same area. What happens if I do that? That seems like a terrible plan. Well, this might be a decent opportunity to try out our first roundabout. I don't know. Do something cool with it. So we just go like right there. There's a roundabout. How do I make like a thicker, more awesome roundabout? Because that's only a single lane road. And that makes me sad. And I'm probably not even going to use that. Single lane roads just don't do it for me. So anyways, my concern right now, I may actually do this at a different spot. We may bring this down a little bit lower and have that road take place down here. Let's go out a little ways. We'll bring it up. You highwaying me right now? Hold on. I need you to... It needs you to spin around like so. So what we can do from there is we'll just drop that on in. It's ugly. It's not pretty to look at, but it gets the job done, and that's all that I really care about for right now. I've long since stopped caring about aesthetics. Alright, so let's start zoning this out right here. We need to think about a main thoroughfare, which is obviously going to need to connect around here somewhere. I figure we just take that down right there. We have a little bit of an expansive road right now that separates these two areas. And so I'm not really interested. Yeah, just keep me on straight roads for now. We'll have a couple of predictable roads up and in here. A couple of these big guys. Maybe expand that out a tad further. Have that go down to there. Good. And for now, let's say we should have a road like so that crosses over. On that side, we'll take that right there. That's looking good. We need waterworks. Where's the waterworks all gummed up at? Oh, over here. Okay. So we'll go all in on that real fast. That would explain why the area isn't growing the way that I wanted it to. It's growing sort of oblong and off to the side, whereas I had sort of a very linear tract picked out for it. And it was like, yay, we're growing in a mathematical linear function. And I'm like, yay! And instead I've got this weird bulbous thing going on. So there it is. That's been taken care of. This area down here should help to tie this weird amorphous area together. I guess it's not too horrible of a plan to go and do something like that, although I wasn't really looking forward to expanding this area over here much. We may create traffic problems for ourselves. We do have a couple more highways right here, so it might work. It's hard to tell with things in this game until you actually get them deployed. Very, very hard to tell. Actually, maybe I could run this. I'm going to do this a little bit differently over here. I would like to run this down and over to here. We'll put this on Swoopy-Doo mode. Everybody loves Swoopy-Doo mode. We'll we'll have it connect right there. There we go, and that should disperse traffic a little bit from the highway. Looks ugly, but it's functional. And so now we get started with the random zoning up and in here. So we need some more jobs, so we'll do that real fast. Obviously, we got a little bit of a connection pattern happening over here. I'm going to keep 4-lane roads rocking for right now in this area. No, one more up. There you go. That can go to there. And then in order to keep traffic down, my goal from this side would be to do that. And then we'll come back around. Doesn't fill in the middle space very well, but that'll do it right there, actually. Cool. And so I like the way that looks. That'll allow us to expand down in this area, but right now I want to work on this area. So we'll go back over to our 4-lane roads. I'm going to keep the ones with the trees on the sides. It looks like we actually already have some trucks running through here, interestingly enough. Figure I'll take that one straight up the center, even though it looks kind of crooked. But hey, what can you do, I suppose? Take a little road off this way. Similarly to this side. That should help us fill in some space. We've got kind of like a trident right there, just to let all invading neighborhoods know that our neighborhood has it locked down, in case you had wondered about it. We've got tridents. We will throw them at you, and they will go ching, ching, ching. They gotta go ching 3 times when they go into your armor, because obviously they got 3 points right there. They don't have 1 point to make. They have 3 points to make. In here, we want to get back to the 4-lane roads, and I think it'd probably be wise to subdivide like so once again. I may try the exact same strategy over here and just sort of like see what occurs. I don't know if it's wisest to go from like right there instead this time, like straight from the center. Looks good to me though. I mean, I don't hate the way that it's arrayed. Seems pretty nice, like it might work out in the long term. Good use of space in either case, like my god. That looks really, really good right there. That grid's looking very, very solid. So, we need housing. So let's get going with that. We're actually losing citizens right now. I don't know if I want this. We'll start out. Let's start out very, very lightly, shall we? We'll start out with a little bit of heavy housing along these edges. And so I realized I said we are going to start lightly and then proceeded to do something heavy. But you know what? Sometimes you just got to go back on your word real fast and just do something a little bit different. They need the power grid down here, which is going to be nightmarish. I suppose that I shall briefly consider. Can this not go across 3-lane roads? I bet you can, if you really try hard. I believe in you for right now. I don't really want that to happen though either, so this might have to go like wide right here. And that'll get them connected for a little bit until the grid gets up and running and reconnects with this part of the city right there. Reconvenes. It might have been wiser to build in this direction, but I want to like take my time and sort of like see what happens with the traffic over there before I start doing anything too crazy. I'm gonna get some pipes run down this way. I think I'll probably give them their own leg. We've got more than enough money to make this happen, so I figure why not. A little bit lower, just to make sure that we are piping at optimal efficiency. And there it is. The water is coming in, both piping hot and chilling cold to the area. Good. So that should help out for a little bit. We need a couple of, like, sub legs over here. What a sub needs a leg for, I don't really know. It does a lot more swimming than running, but I figure we'll give him an extra one, and that's going to be the spot where I break off the episode. So my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerdcastle for the next episode of Cities Skylines. I look forward to seeing you all in future episodes. Take care out there, everybody, and as always, hi do.